That brings us on to my saddest topic of the day.
Oh, gosh.
And I am going to be a little dramatic here, so bear with me.
Dramatic? What a surprise.
Zelda U got delayed again. That's it. That's
it.
Thank you. Accept my my statue.
I wish I had some flowers to give you for your performance.
Thank you. This is a bummer.
Yeah.
A major bummer. So Zelda U got delayed.
Yes.
We got more news besides the delay. We'll talk about that too. If you are a seasoned Nintendo/Zelda veteran, you should know that when Zelda U was first announced, it was slated for a holiday 2015 release.
It's a little late. It's a little late.
A little late. It's a little late.
I was waiting for you to freak out.
So we're obviously past holiday 2015, then they moved it into 2016, and most people made the assumption that it was going to be coming out around Christmas time 2016.
Yeah.
So practically a 1-year delay.
Yes.
Now we know that it's not going to be making a 2016 appearance. It will be launching in March of 2017 as a launch title on the Nintendo NX and a simultaneous release on the Wii U in the most non-shocking news that I've ever reported on. This is something every single Nintendo fan knew from day one that Nintendo was going to pull this. Because if you are launching a new console you want people to buy, of course you're going to throw Zelda in there.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes. This is
some Zelda history.
Yes, please share. I'm so unfamiliar with this.
Let's go back to the GameCube Wii launch.
Yeah.
So GameCube was in the final life cycle. GameCube also struggled. Not as bad as the Wii U, but it struggled. And the Wii was coming out, and that was going to be the big thing that redeemed Nintendo. Nintendo moved Twilight Princess from the GameCube into the Wii, and they said, we're going to do a simultaneous release so the GameCube fans can still be happy, have their traditional controller, the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
And lo and behold, right before launch, they said, hey, guess what? We're only launching this on the Wii. We need some more time to tune this up for the GameCube. Now, if you're a Zelda fan, like, I don't know, me.
You?
Like me, you'll know that you cannot wait. You cannot wait a week, a day, months to get your Zelda fix when you know it's out in the wild.
Yeah.
So all those people that would have, I'm sure, happily bought it on the GameCube rushed out to buy a Wii, a.k.a. me, because I did. I waited in line for 6 hours in front of a Best Buy in the cold.
I think you've waited for longer, though.
Yeah, I did. I waited longer for the PS3.
There we go.
Don't hold that against me.
Of course not.
I don't even like it.
Of course not.
I didn't even want it, man.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, they did the same thing. And then they said that, guess what? It's not coming out on GameCube now. So it was a few months later, if I'm correct, and they released it on GameCube, but well after the fact that it was out on the Wii. I would not be shocked if Nintendo decided to repeat some history here, because they want to pump out the NX sales. Yep. They want to get as many consoles out in gamers' hands as they can. So why would they release simultaneously on the Wii U and the NX if they didn't have to?
Yeah.
So I would imagine that they're saying that right now to appease the fans, and I wouldn't be 100% shocked if they decided not to do the simultaneous release. Now, I may be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Yes.
But history is doomed to repeat itself, folks. Look at a history book. That's all I got.
It's the history that is doomed to repeat itself is not accidental, as Jason has pointed out. It is done purposefully. And the good thing that we have going is that longtime fans like you, like me, we're familiar with this history. We can be prepared for this mentally. So I think that at least is something to think about and to carry with us the next couple months.
Sure.
Yep. Oh gosh, I can feel the bitterness radiating off of you.
No, I'm fine.
Now. Really?
I'm fine.
Okay.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'll live.
Okay, good.
So, as a consolation prize for not getting Zelda this year, Nintendo released a single still image of Link using his bow and arrow. Thank you, Nintendo.
I feel like this is a lot of sarcasm.
It's a very beautiful. It's a beautiful picture.
It's a beautiful picture.
You can see it, like it's right here on the screen. If you're watching, if you're listening on iTunes, well, go to YouTube and look at the picture or Google it. I don't care.
It's got to be said, I've loved all the art that has been released for the game up to this point.
Well, but thank God, we don't need a title.
Oh no,
for this game
of course
that
not.
should have been out already.
Just a piece of art. I would have been a little happier with several pieces of new art, and not just one. That would have been kind of cool. I'm sure that they have a bunch laying around somewhere.
This investor meeting gave us the most information and the least information at the same time. Somehow, simultaneously, I don't know how they did it, but they did it somehow. That being said,
yes.
Again, because I say that being said, that's my catchphrase.
No, your catchphrase is very, very cool.
And that being said, both.
There are quite a few catchphrases. Yes.
So yes, I'm bummed. I'm extremely bummed about this. I live and bleed Zelda. I always have. It is my all-time favorite gaming franchise. If you know me, if you know anything about me, if you follow me at Amiibo Jason, you know this to be true. You obviously know this to be true. So let me tell you why I'm bummed, but I'm not furious.
I thought that was kind of a given already.
A little bit.
Okay, let's go.
I'm not furious, and I'm not going to freak out on it. And the reason why is because I want this game
to be epic and
to be amazing
and perfect. Yeah, why not?
If this is going to be a simultaneous release, or if it just comes out on the NX, it's going to be taking advantage of that NX hardware.
Yep.
And that's what I want. I want something that is absolutely beautiful. I want something, and this is going to be me being selfish.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Nintendo being selfish too. I want to see some PlayStation and Xbox fanboys move over to the NX to see this amazingly gorgeous, beautiful open world Zelda adventure.
Yeah.
And that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want Nintendo to win. I love Nintendo. Nintendo, you're not listening, but guess what? If you are, I love you. Everybody loves you.
I'm not too concerned about moving fanboys over to the Nintendo side. I want to just see a beautiful game. And I think that's what we're going to get. That's why I know you're heartbroken, but in the past, I've waited for releases, and not even just Nintendo ones, but I'm a big Diablo fan. And when Diablo 3 was announced, and it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, I was like, you know what? They kept saying, we just want to perfect it. We want to give our fans a game worth playing and looking forward to. And you know what? I didn't complain. And I was as difficult as part of the release was in certain ways, everything else was what I had dreamed of, and I think that is going to apply to the Zelda release too.
There you go.
So I'm not complaining at this point. I'm disappointed about the NX being delayed, and I know that the two are basically intertwined right now, but I am okay with the delay because we know it's coming. It's just going to be a couple extra months.
Now, I was curious. I didn't know where to necessarily fit this particular piece into the newscast, but I think this is a good kind of way to put it into it.
Yeah.
They also announced Nintendo also announced that E3 is going to be focusing essentially strictly on Zelda.
Yes.
And that's it. I wanted to call it Zelda U, but I can't really call it Zelda U anymore.
No, because now it's more associated with an X than the Wii U.
But they also announced that the NX is not going to be at E3.
Yes.
So that means that it's not going to be making an appearance. And that means if they're doing a Zelda-centric Zelda-centric whole floor presence at E3, it's going to be out with the Wii U version.
Yes.
Which I guess then, if I really think about it that way, that means that they're not really going to cancel it. If they're going to focus an entire press conference on it. It's either that or Nintendo has a huge surprise for E3 up their sleeve.
You know, I keep hoping for a surprise, but we've discussed that before, and we've got our hopes up before about the surprises. And yes, it's still possible, but I'm trying not to get my hopes up a little too much for this one. Something I'm really interested in seeing, though, because when we were at E3 last year, there were several games that were focused on.
Yep.
I'm wondering how they're going to divide the floor into this Zelda experience. What else is going to be there? I mean, Amiibo, I'm guessing, are going to be showcased.
Hopefully.
But what else? I'm wondering what else is the floor space going to contain, because they have a good amount of space to cover.
Pokemon Sun and Moon, maybe.
Yeah.
I am remarkably confused about the wording of how they said this.
Yes.
There have been reports that Nintendo is only showing that game at E3, which I find to be ridiculous. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
The other thing is, though, that they said that they're going to be focusing mainly on that, and then there'll be other sections maybe for Pokemon Sun and Moon, and then whatever else is going to be coming out. Color Splash.
So really, they're saying that it's possible that Zelda could just be taking priority. It could be the main game in the spotlight, but other games could be there, just not the center focus.
I just find it bizarre that they would have one. If they just showcased one game, if they really wanted to break up the entire floor into different Zelda stations, I would actually be A-okay with that.
Yeah.
I waited an hour and 45 minutes to play Star Fox.
I remember
Zero.
that. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And there were there several stations for that?
There was 1, 2, 3. I think there was 3. There could have been 4.
Yes. And I know there was one experience, it was more of an experience.
Yeah.
I think that one took a lot longer to get through.
Yep. And you got a sweet pin.
That's right.
And I didn't get that.
No, because the line...
Sad.
The thing about E3 is that, it's a couple hours each day, and you don't want to stand in line for the entire day to get to one thing. You want to be able to experience as much as you possibly can. So it's really kind of juggling everything and figuring it out. How am I going to experience everything that's Nintendo while I'm here?
So... we're going to E3 again this year, so we'll report to
there.
you exactly what that looks like. We have lots of equipment going with us. We have team members going with us. It's going to be a blast. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they're going to show off. Because Nintendo, you can still, for the most part, do no wrong by me. So just make a good game. That's all I ask for.
It's so interesting that you end this segment by saying that after all the disappointment that was expressed.
I would much rather have a little disappointment than having a crappy game. And
yes.
I've said it before too. I would rather them focus Zelda development on the NX and then make a port over to the Wii U, not vice versa.
Yes.
I prefer that they use that hardware to its fullest extent and then say, okay, what can we do to dumb it down for the Wii U?
Yeah.
For those Wii U peasants. Nobody cares. All right.